boy, Glitch Max. What is the Maize Madman? Good evening, good people. It is the Maize Madman. I'm here with my guy,
the Maniac,
and my other guy,
your boy, Glitch Max.
No doubt. We got another great show lined up today. You might be wondering, hey, it's an open spot here. Where is old man on the sticks? Well, Sticks is actually furthering his education on these Mondays. He will be back with us in about 3 to 4 months. But shout out to my guy Sticks, who's doing his thing. He's still doing his thing every Wednesday. What's it called? Old Man Review. Old Head
Sports Talk.
Old Head Sports Talk every Wednesday morning. Be sure to check him out there. 9:30, I believe. Be over there or be square. That said, some things have happened last week. We got some news percolating. There's portal to discuss. There's coaches to discuss. There's keeping the current roster or not to discuss. All of that, and we're gonna do it right here first. But let's get these shout outs. Shout out to my guy Mike Legend, who's in here, Ron Embry, who's in here, John Spitzley, I think that's it, and Marcus Partlow. Shout out to y'all. Let's get it though, fellas. First up, Litch, what we got? Michigan versus Texas Citrus Bowl recap.
Oh man.
Started out so promising, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it looked like a very good game for most of this game until the fourth quarter hit. Maniac, talk to us.
Yeah. Let's call it like it is. At the end of the day, it was a bowl game. But like we mentioned, in the words of Herm Edwards, you'll play to win the game. Right? We're not sitting here. But I think what was troubling some to us was that we lost pretty much the same way we lost the other 3 games. It was very similar, and it's just frustrating because that game was there for the taking for Michigan. Bryce started off well, running the ball, passing the ball, making good decisions. It's like, okay, taking care of the ball. And then there's a thing called the second half. They came, and we start to see the snowball effect. He threw 1 interception. He threw 2, and then obviously he ends up throwing 3. He had a hat trick of interceptions, and it just got out of hand. Arch Manning, he turned us around, and he just gave it to us with no grease. He just said, "Hold that," no warning. He treated just like a Diddy party. He treated us like a Diddy party. Defense, where were you, defense? Hello, defense, nothing. Guys couldn't get no pressure on Arch. It was just embarrassing to a certain extent. Not the whole game, but that fourth quarter, it definitely unraveled for Michigan. And, seeing Bryce just fold, man, it really bothered me. And the defense just couldn't get a stop. Was frustrating. And ultimately, we saw what it was. It was a 41-27 win for Texas. Now it's back to the drawing board, and let's see how we come out next year, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Litch Max, how'd you see it from your perspective?
I think Bryce, like Maniac said, Bryce started out the game. He was looking good. He was doing the right things, taking care of the ball. That second half, it's like we just stopped playing the game. The entire game, our defense really wasn't doing us any favors, to be fair. Texas's offense is not a great matchup for Michigan's style of defense, at least with Wink at the helm. Luckily, Wink's out of there, so we should see a much better showing come this next season. But, I think a lot of the turnovers came from the fact that, our defense really didn't put Bryce in the best situations. We were always playing off the back foot. In the first half, we did a really good job of taking that pressure and moving the ball down the field with it. But that second half, I just think it just kind of wore him out. Our luck. No, sorry, that warm out. Our luck just kind of ran out with Bryce.
No doubt. This right here is a great comment. Shout out to Ripstar who's saying, don't milk the bowl game. This is our first time getting to talk about the bowl game outside of the immediate reaction. We haven't been since the bowl game. This is the first time we're able to talk about it here. That said, I thought, both what you guys are saying is true, but this comment right here by The Original, no pass rush all game, no quarterback by at all. We talked about, Wink Martindale already having a foot out the door. It looked like Wink could have called this game from the airplane, getting the hell out. He didn't have any Michigan signage on. He wasn't there mentally or physically, really. Well, certainly mentally wasn't there, at least to win a game for Michigan. So there's that. I thought early on, and people who follow me on Twitter notice, I tweeted out early, like the first couple drives, I thought Michigan's defense was playing pretty well. And I tweeted the defense came to play. But after that, it's like as soon as I hit send on that tweet, all the mojo was gone for the defense. And it was just all pure downhill from there.
Now we know what happened. It was the Maize Madman. Wink saw his tweet, and he was like, all right, we're done, folks. We're done. Wrap it up.
It was like, I'm trying too hard. Let me go. It's looking too good. But outside of that, man, like I said, for 3 quarters of this game, Michigan really played well. Bryce played well. Bryce was really having the best game of the season, especially when you consider the competition until that fourth quarter. And we know what happened then. It kind of went off the rails. But considering what the coaches had to deal with, what Biff had to do, Kasula, filling in for Chip Lindsey, short order. Yeah. They didn't have a lot of time to switch things up. But it's a decent game all in all until the end of that the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is when the game really got out of hand. But that's that. I
will say real quick. If you look at everything that we've had to deal with up leading up to that game, I don't think we did super bad. We lost, but look at everything we had to deal with rolling up to that bowl game. I think we did all right considering the circumstances.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't think many people nobody picked us to win that game, right? I don't think it was a lot of people picking Michigan to win that game. I thought a lot of people thought it'd be worse than that earlier on. Michigan did a decent job staying in there.
Yeah.
Grade for the new coaching staff. Let's bring up that graphic. Do we got that graphic?
I sent it in the chat. I don't know if anyone's downloaded it.
I don't think we did actually. But Litch made a graphic. I'm gonna try to get it here. Go ahead, talk about it, Litch, while I try to get this up.
I made a graphic about the all of the new coaching hires that we made this season, including Kyle Whittingham. I can't remember the Jason Beck, and then I can't remember what our offensive coordinator's name is.
Jason Beck is the OC.
Jason Beck is the OC.
Jason Beck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jay Hill. Yeah. I made a graphic with all of them. If you can't find it, I can put it in the.
I got it. Keep. Okay. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then I listed out all of our recent coaching hires from the new quarterbacks coach, all the way to the strength and conditioning coach. Notice that we've gone after two, I think, Whittingham relatives, Alex and Freddie. I don't know if they've been confirmed yet, but they're expected hires.
Right. Freddie is the tight ends coach.
Yep, Freddie's the tight ends coach.
The NFL, I believe. He was at Kansas City, linebacker, or was he the linebackers coach?
No, the linebackers coach is his son from Kansas City.
Right. Yeah.
That would be Alex, I believe. Alex Whittingham is the linebackers coach. Freddie Whittingham is the tight ends coach. I think Freddie came from BYU, but I could be wrong. I know. Yeah. I think he came with Hill. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
That said, let's talk about like what we're getting here, right? Because
yeah,
one of the big things, and this one came later, the strength and conditioning coach Doug Ilasaya. I'm probably
yeah,
ruining that name, but that's a big deal, right? Because
yeah,
one of the things that we talked about, we've been complaining about Michigan football this season was the strength and conditioning. It was a lot of guys in the infirmary, a lot of guys banged up pretty much all season. And I get it, it's football, that's going to happen. But it just seemed like this year was kind of, even more so than normal, right? So I think this
Yeah.
strength and conditioning coach is a good hire, and beyond just being hurt, right? Guys like the defensive line, the offensive line, we need better push. It didn't look like that sort of thing was happening,
Yeah.
and I think you can attribute some of that to the strength and conditioning. Maniac, what you think?
yeah, man. I think at the end of the day, um, we have we have a good coaching staff. I think Whittingham has assembled a very good coaching staff. In fact, I'll probably grade it anywhere from a B minus to a B plus, right? Because a lot of these guys have a lot of experience and they have continuity. They've coached with each other, right?
Right,
So these guys know each other. Of course, Lou Esposito, Tony Alford, that's different, but I think they're gonna fit in perfectly fine. And what I do like is that one, we're getting a quarterback coach for Bryce. So that's perfect. He's gonna have his quarterback coach. It ain't gonna be the OC slash quarterback coach. No, he's gonna have a quarterback coach on the field. So
right,
once he comes to the sideline, sit your ass over here, Bryce. Look what's going on. Two, we not only we have the secondaries coach, but he also hires a safeties coach. I think that's
Yep.
great. You split the secondary. I love that. And third, he's splitting the D line. He has a DN coach. He has a D tackle coach. And I also think that's amazing. You split all that. And the benefit of having two coaches per position group is that you might see something I don't see, right?
right.
Maze, if we're both coaching the same positions, you're like, yo, listen, your D tackles, oh shit, you know what? You're right. And vice versa. You might be able to see some things I don't. So and these a lot of these guys are veterans now. If there's a position, the wide receiver position, coach, he's the one. There's a lot of question marks, but we'll see. I'm not gonna just beat him to the ground because I don't know. My linebackers coach is his son, who's coached at Kansas City for numerous years. So this is a lot of experience, guys. So this is the staff. He
Yeah.
has assembled a fucking staff. Excuse my language. And now it's up to them as a coach to get this team ready for next season. So I'm excited to see how it all plays out, man. It should be interesting.
Real quick before you go, Lich, Ripstar says, why the exodus of O line, new coaches, and upgrade? Is it a different system? Well, there's definitely going to be a different system, but I also think people are underestimating some of those relationships. We saw I think Andre Clark, decommitted from the class, asked for his release from his letter of intent because he had a strong relationship with Lamar Morgan. These guys, especially on the offensive line, somebody like Malachi Lee actually spoke about this, how, you know, Grant Newsome was like a big part of, that recruitment and his choosing Michigan. So, and though he hasn't like left the class, they're still, he was supposed to commit, be on campus early, and he didn't show up.
Yeah.
Um, Rather taking his time or whatever. So, that sort of thing is something to raise an eyebrow to, something to be a little bit concerned about. But it's,
Yeah,
relationships, all of these
yeah,
things matter. But I also
right.
think, from what I've heard, it's not just about that either, though. Some of those is because of
Money.
Ward Manuel maybe not sending those checks out quick enough. But we'll see what happens. We got Blake
Yeah.
Frazier is back in the fold. He's back back on the roster,
So, mate,
on the portal. So yeah.
as we speak, is Andrew Sprague, Guanera, who else? O line enter the portal? Like 3 or 4 linemen, no?
Yeah, so it was Sprague, Guanera, Strayhorn. Right
Straight
now,
horn.
as it stands right now, we don't have a center.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
Strayhorn is visiting like Alabama. I
Yes.
saw, it
And
is,
yeah,
yeah,
and the O line coach is known to be a great coach, man. So I don't,
right.
like you said though, these are the things they underestimate. And plus, kids is chasing that bag, bro. They in
Yeah,
there. People forget that these players could come back. It's not like you enter the portal and can't come back. So
yeah, that's
I'm
a
pretty
fact.
sure Whittingham will wouldn't mind them coming back, but we'll see.
Yeah. So you giving the coaching hires a B minus to B plus, right?
Yeah.
All right, Lich Max. What about you? Talk to us in the comment section. What do you guys give the what grade do you give these coaching hires? Talk to us in the comment section. Lich Max. What about you?
I'd be inclined to give the new position coaches, like just talking about them separately as a group. I'd probably give them like a C plus. If you when you add in the OC and the DC hire, I think that would push them to like a B minus in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
Because like I like the fact that we got rid of Wink Martindale. That's a huge bonus in my book. That kind of helps their grade a lot.
all
Just
right.
because I hope I want to see something new this season. I don't want to see the same generic defense that we've seen the last 2 seasons. So as long as the DC can show us something new and not just be the same old, that will make their grade can only go up from here. But the offensive coach, I don't know much about Beck. I have heard a
Mhm.
lot of good things about him. So going off of the good things I have heard, I have high hopes that he is what Michigan needs, and that combined with Whittingham's approach to the offense, I think those two are going to make a very good team when it comes to game planning week to week for the games.
Yeah,
The rest of the hires, I am going to miss Lamar Morgan, but I do see a lot of good names on here, and the fact that we have a much better strength and conditioning coach, I think that's gonna come in. That's gonna come in. Come into
play.
play big time
Yeah,
this season, especially getting our linemen on both sides of the ball conditioned for those long drives, and
yeah,
hopefully not have as many injuries moving forward. But a lot goes into play with injuries, but hopefully the strength condition can help mitigate a lot of that. One thing I did notice when I was looking through the list of new hires is they had 2 names down for the wide receivers coach. I don't know if we got 2 new coaches, but mentioned 2 names, but on the hire list, which was Micah Simon and Marquise Hogan.
yeah,
I don't know much about those two, but I do. From what I can see from the article, it was saying good things about him. So I mean, like we can only expect good things moving forward, especially with all these new names that they brought on, especially bringing somebody in from the NFL to the college as a linebacker coach. I think it was, yeah, linebacker.
yeah,
I think that's gonna help us a lot. So I'm gonna say a high B minus, but a B minus nonetheless as well. Agreeing with the low end of Maniac's score.
yeah. For me, real quick, At makes a good point here. I'll tell you their grade when Bryce declares his intentions. I'm not mad at that. A lot of this is going to be tied to quarterback, and right now Bryce Underwood, hell, he's one of the only quarterbacks we got left. So there's that.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I think it's a good. If these all of these hires are good, the one I'm most excited about, Maniac and Lich, is the safeties coach. Actually, this Tyler Stockton guy, right? Tyler Stockton, they got him from Boise State. He was
Boy,
the safeties coach over there, also co-defensive coordinator over there. But
Yep.
before that, he was at Ball State from 2019 to 2023. He was on the Bryles, assistant coaching award list. I think 3 years over there
Oh,
at
Broyles.
Ball State, which is crazy. So I'm excited about that. I think he's going to bring a lot to that secondary, and specifically at safety. If you're not Rod Moore, then I think everybody needed work, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so
Fact.
there's that. I'm excited about the strength and conditioning coach. I already explained that. I'm excited about that. And then linebacker coach, when you look at Alex Whittingham or Freddie Whittingham, Freddie or Alex, whichever one is the linebackers coach. I'm excited about that. That's a
Alex.
guy from the NFL coming down to the college game, bringing that sort of knowledge at that position down to the college game. That can only uh, work out good in Michigan's favor. Jim Harding, the offensive line coach, everybody has been singing this guy's praises, so we gotta take that with for what it is. I'm excited about that. As far as Beck, I mean, the dude averaged 41, had an offense that averaged 41 points last season. If Michigan averaged 41 points this season, a lot of these games would have been different,
Yeah.
fellas. Um,
Absolutely.
and then Jay Hill, the same, orchestrated a turnaround for BYU in terms of their defense. So I'm excited about both of those guys. I'm going to get this a solid B. I'm right in the middle of the low end and high end for Maniac at B. I'm going to give it a solid B right now from everything that I've seen and understand about these coaches. There
Yeah.
are a couple, though, that I just am not familiar with at all. And I'll
Yeah.
continue to do my research on those guys as well. What's
Yeah.
next?
Next, we have a super chat.
Okay.
Shout out my guy Dexter Green. He is a member, by the way. You should become a member. Thanks for the $5. He says M3 kept on Davis calling him a make a wish. Now he lost the legend. Yo. Oh man. Oh man. So look, Davis Warren, I gotta give Davis Warren this much credit, bro. He did win the game forever. He's going to be known as the quarterback, a quarterback that beat Ohio State. That's
Yeah.
forever. He's a legend for that, no matter what.
Yeah.
Um, even if he played, I'm not even going to talk about how he played in that game, but he got it done, right? One of those throws, he made a huge clutch throw in that game. O'Leary
Yes.
made an even more clutch catch. So
Yes.
I got to give him credit for that. He deserves that. He beat Ohio State in a year that could have last year could have been worse for us. We lose to Ohio State last year and they go on to win the Natty, bro. Nasty work. We can say nothing, but he gave us one more year to say they haven't beat us since, right? And then this year happened. So shout out to Davis Warren. He's always going to be a legend in my book for that. All right, what we got?
All right, we have
Portal
man.
madness, bro. The portal
Man.
let me tell you, it's over 4,000 kids in the portal. I read somewhere that's like 31% of college football is in the portal, bro.
Yeah. They said D1 has about 30 something thousand players. And they're
That's
like
insane, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Insane.
absolutely. And we currently have how many? 17?
Right.
18 Kuzdal and Mikey King just so I think we at 18 or 19
18 or
currently
19, man.
in the portal. I think what a lot of Michigan fans, I get it. I think someone in the chat was like, yo, what's up? Why we not doing nothing in the portal? What's my man's name? My man, forgot my man's name. He in there somewhere. But yeah, the bottom line is as this staff just got assembled recently. So now it's go time. Now it's time to attack the portal. You got your coaching staff. You know who's coaching which positions. But people got to also understand, Maize and Lich, that it's about keeping talent on the
Right.
roster. More
Right.
importantly, dudes like Bryce Underwood. More importantly, dudes like Andrew Marsh. Like we need these guys, right?
That's
If
a
we're gonna
fact.
be successful. So um once that happens, man, I think they're gonna hit the portal even harder. They already got a couple of visits, I think,
Yep.
coming up, but that D line needs to be addressed heavy. But the portal's a disaster. I mean, every team. Damn, Indiana. Indiana's already winning the portal, and they probably winning the Natty. So, yeah, shout to Kirk Natty. And before I hand it off, welcome to a new era of college football, guys, ladies and gentlemen. You can, if you're a very good coach, if you're a very good coach with good NIL backing, you could go in the portal, get some veterans, and bro, take off. And look, Ole Miss is proof of that. KKK University is proof of that.
Yo.
Um, Indiana is proof of that. I believe I know Oregon got some transfers, but mainly a lot of theirs is roster. But still, man, it could be done. So we'll see, man. But it's madness, bro. This portal is ridiculous.
This is the problem for me, right? We did get started later than these other schools in terms of being able to assess the portal because we had to hire a coaching staff, get those guys ready, and then recruit our own roster, basically, right? Before they can even start to get going. But there are some names out there for sure. Celeste Moa, who is in the class of Utah right now, his father tweeted some interesting things, and his uncle is the strength and conditioning coach. That our new strength and conditioning coach is Celeste Moa's uncle. You think about Kelvin Obit, who's a 5-star offensive tackle. He could be in play for Michigan. Those are two guys out of high school, though, not necessarily the portal. But when you start talking about the portal, and one thing I want to talk about with Indiana is this: yes, they got Nick Marsh. They are reloading people. And other teams in our conference now are following that same kind of blueprint. Look, UCLA just hired the guy from JMU, the other guy from JMU, right?
Yeah.
Indiana got Signetti, and now UCLA got the other guy. And guess what? You saw all those All-Americans or fringe All-Americans from JMU. They're now going to UCLA. I just saw that today. It's an exodus to UCLA for those guys now. So they're going to be a much better team immediately next year. You got to look out for UCLA. You talk about the guys from Iowa State that are now going to Penn State. I know you guys see this. They got the coach from Iowa State at Penn State now, and now those guys are leaving Iowa State and going to Penn State. You look even at poor little Bronim, they got Fitzgerald, and he's made some. I can't knock the moves he's made so far. Whether or not they're good or not is another thing in terms of his team. But he's made some decent moves. People are moving and shaking in the Big Ten, and this is the conference that has the money. People, let's be real.
Yep.
The SEC is represented by one team in this Final Four. The ACC is represented by one team in this Final Four, and the Big Ten has two teams in this Final Four teams, right? It could have been, listen, we could have had three teams in this thing if the other state wasn't such a vile, disgusting cesspool and losing to Miami. By the way, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But these are the things that are happening. This is happening quickly. We need a similar kind of mass exodus and kind of talent grab for Michigan from those guys at BYU and Utah. I know those aren't necessarily havens for great talent, but there is some great talent over there. They have some talented players, and Michigan needs to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Lynch, put up Teron Nelson's comment, because this is important too when it comes to the portal. I think a lot of Michigan fans kind of overlook this, or they're not. There you go. So,
well, this is a fact. Yes, if you are a junior, anything like that, it's almost impossible. It's not worth it almost for you to try to do it unless you try to start over in college. So there's that.
Yeah, and that's the problem that you as a player, you like, yeah, I'm good, and it's his mission. And Michigan, the university prides itself on its academics prestige, so that's not going to change for sports. That's the advantage all these other schools have. They don't care about academics when it comes to sports like that. They don't care. You could come in as a true freshman,
Yeah.
and dog for the 5 SEC teams. Yeah, listen, this is what I'm gonna say about the SEC, bro. I'm gonna just keep it straight 1,000. The SEC is a tough conference. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say that it's a trash conference because it's not. But the problem with the SEC is that for years it has dominated college football. So the media has brainwashed everybody that anything they do is so good. And this season, actually, this is the third season in a row that the SEC hasn't done shit. If Ole Miss loses to Miami, that's going to be the third natty in a row that you don't see a SEC team in the natty. And we're going to guarantee there's going to be 3 Big 10 teams you're gonna get a Big 10 team in the Natty this year. So that's gonna be 3 straight years for the Big 10 having a team in the Natty. So listen, it's parity now, bro. Y'all was the SEC was the dirtiest conference. And the one thing I like about the SEC is that they don't give a fuck. Damn, excuse my language again. They do not care about all the grimy shit the other team is doing because they all doing it. The Big 10 is full of coward ass teams. They let this Connor Stallions little thing and they all became snitchers. So shout to the SEC. That's the thug out. That's the thug conference. Shout to them. This the Big 10 is a lot of female dog, and they made something so small into they turned a paper cut to a gruesome murder. And at the end of the day, there was nothing there. So shout to the SEC in that regards.
Real quick, Lich, and we'll let you go. Shout out to Goj, man. We was wondering where you was at, man. We didn't see you in a minute, man. How you feeling, Goj? What's good, man? Hey, shout out to Jason too, Hall of Fame college football. Be sure to check him out over there. But Jason, yes. SEC teams did have to play themselves, yes. But also, bro, maybe you shouldn't have got 5 SEC teams in.
I mean, looking at Bama's performance, they definitely shouldn't have been in there. Right. I mean, after watching the Oklahoma game, you're like, maybe they deserve a shot. Then they played Indiana. Like, no, never mind.
Right.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing that, bro, you saw what Alabama did to your team. You couldn't at home. You was down. You was up 17-0 and blew that at home. And you saw what Indiana did to Alabama, bro. Yeah. It was never a game. They beat them on every front, physical, finesse, bro. They embarrassed. In fact, that's one of Alabama's worst losses in the history in bowls or playoffs. So come on, man, what we doing here? And we talking about Indiana. And you said it, Jay. You was like, Indiana, Oklahoma, or Alabama's gonna beat them. Yeah, all right. They probably would have did your team worse.
Right. Honestly, yeah.
Did Oklahoma worse, probably. But
sure. and look, Jay, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. I was going to bat for your team. I mean, not your team, but for the SEC team in Alabama. I'm the one that jumped out the window saying, yo, they're gonna dog walk Indiana. I thought the talent gap would catch up with Indiana eventually, and I was wrong, by the way. They beat the brakes off of Alabama. It really wasn't a game.
Nice. Yeah, you can't, bro. So listen, if you're gonna be harping on that regular season, I don't want to hear that. Because when Alabama was in their prime, it was the same thing. It was a gauntlet, and it was winning the Natty. LSU winning the Natty. Auburn winning the Natty. So I don't want to hear that now. Don't hear me. Don't give me that. They still got it, bro. It is what it is. So
yeah, man. I don't know.
So they that good. In fact, the SEC, all they playoff wins came against each other. Because I'm not counting Ole Miss Tulane. Let's cut the bullshit.
Well, you got the win they got was us, actually. Texas beat.
No. I'm talking about the playoffs. Where it matters. Where it matters, right? Because we're so great. We got this gauntlet. Bro, when they play against another Power 4 team in the playoffs, they look mid. And if Miami stuffs Ole Miss in the locker, bro, they're going to be in hiding until August. I promise you.
Yo. And that's the thing, too, bro. Even in the bowl season, my bad, Lich. Even in the bowl season, Yeah, a team, a fringe playoff team, right? Like Vanderbilt was stuffed in a locker by Iowa.
Yup.
Like that, and Iowa is a mid Big Ten team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying. What Illinois was it? Illinois that beat Tennessee? Who beat
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Illinois.
Yeah, man. The conferences are matching up, and we still handling business, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Illinois was on in that game. They must have had their Wheaties that day or something because
What? Oh
they
no.
embarrassed Tennessee.
This is another point. This is where the bias comes in. Tennessee didn't beat one team with a winning record this year, and they was ranked like all year. No one talks about that though, right?
Right.
No one talks about that. Again, there is bias when it comes to the SEC. Now, bias is still a tough conference. I'm not taking away from them, but we got to stop the bullshit. Yes, just because it's the SEC and everybody is ranked. Look at this gauntlet, but they've been looking like nothing. Whether it's the bowl game or the playoffs, getting cooked, clothesline, DDT, power driver. Come on.
By the way, hold on. Jason upset about this SEC thing. Hold on though. Yeah, we are. Michigan is definitely going to be doing its share of winning in the portal. By the way, couple names to look out. I'm gonna give y'all some names to look out for. Aaron Scott. Look out for Aaron Scott. Look out for the wide receiver from North Texas. I believe he might have canceled his original visit, but look out for him. Also, John Henry, Daly, the DN from Utah. Those are three right now that I know for sure are big Michigan takes right now. I would favor Michigan in all of those right now, and maybe the North Texas one might be a little weird now, but yeah.
Hey, Jason, we're not bullshitting, bro. We speaking facts. What do you want us to say? That you guys are the greatest conference?
Jason, we're gonna allow you to come up in just a second. We're gonna have time because we don't have a lot of topics today. Let us get through these. We'll bring you up. We'll talk about it. Shout out to 89 Dr. Funk says, guys, Michigan coaches may be in for a rude awakening with the Michigan administration. Grades for junior and senior not going to be able to transfer over. No, that's
you
a
already
fact.
mentioned that. You mentioned that already.
Yeah.
And speaking on the transfer portal, I will say, like, we definitely have to get into the portal this season because we're losing a lot of talent. Yeah, we have some freshmen coming in,
but
still
in the air.
Yeah, we're definitely are going to have to hit that portal pretty hard to fill in the gaps that we're going to have from the guys leaving and the guys transferring out. So we definitely need to hit that portal this season harder than we have.
So there we go. Seasons. OSU, Oklahoma State, right?
So I know North Texas quarterback and their running back committed to Oklahoma State. The wide receiver as well. That means that'll be 3 players.
Yeah, I think they're right. Yeah, I saw something where it was when he canceled the visit, they were talking about Oklahoma State. So yeah, I think that tracks.
Although speaking of the portal, have we heard any news of any of the Utah guys coming with Whittingham?
Well, we talked. I just mentioned one of them, the defensive end, for sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, how many of those guys? I think there's a wide receiver over there too that may be in the portal or coming. So, but yeah, I mean, I just don't know how many of the guys from Utah would you want at Michigan? No disrespect, respectfully, of course.
Yeah,
I think there's a couple guys that have the kind of talent that Michigan would want, but whether or not they actually would want to transfer is another story. Like they definitely don't. They definitely aren't a wealth of talent over there. I mean, it was mostly the coach doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, and we got to also take into account, right? Any receiver that's going to commit to Michigan.
Yes, that Aaron Scott.
We need Bryce to say he's coming back, right? Why would I transfer to a program that we might not even know who their quarterback is? So once Bryce makes an announcement, which he should do it pretty fast, so that we could go ahead and say, look, Bryce is coming back. We need some receivers. So we'll see how
Bryce don't come back, then we're gonna have to start looking at quarterbacks in the portal, and I don't really see a lot of candidates that are going to be entering the portal. At least ones that I would want to see at Michigan. I mean, realistically, if we lose Bryce, anyone will do. But to be fair, but I don't see a lot that would be a good replacement for Bryce if Bryce leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, the portal is crazy right now. Well, I'm gonna actually be doing a video probably tomorrow. It'll drop tomorrow on some more of the portal updates. But yeah, let's go. Let's move on.
As we are transferring to this new topic, I want to remind everybody: if you want to get your messages read up here by the Maize Madman or anyone on the panel, send it in the form of a super chat. It's the best way to make sure that your message gets read and to make sure that you can get the Maize Madman to say some crazy crap.
That's a fact. Johnny, shout out to Johnny who said, "Fun fact: since 2020." Ohio State's only beaten Michigan one time.
Yeah, he's referring. No, he's referring to. There's a OSU fan. He's one of my biggest fans.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna date your mother, homie. I don't want to be your stepfather. So stop saying my name, you bozo. Just like the rest of your fan base.
Crazy, bro. Let's go. Playoff recap. We had one playoff game on New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. I think we all know what that was.
Yeah, good. It's good. They in the chat. Let's start with that game. Ohio State, Miami. Man, oh man. All we heard, first of all, the Indiana game was a fluke. We was living in a red zone. Hey, the guys are gonna be ready. Hey man, Ryan Day is calling plays. We're good with Ryan Day. First of all, you ain't never win shit with Ryan Day calling plays. Hence why he needed Chip Kelly last year. Y'all forget about that.
Talk about
Y'all didn't have the running backs. They didn't have the horses in the backfield. But they was sucking the meat off this little midget freshman running back. Okay. He's the truth. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but they suck at him. Nothing. Julian saying a oompa loompa midget that when he played against real competition, just look at his numbers. That's all I'm going to say. Texas, Indiana, and Miami. Go look at Julian saying numbers and tell me. Because all I heard, he has the highest completion percentage in the history of NCAA. He's a bro, I'm not gonna go in. This is a show.
That's a fact.
Listen, Julian saying is a good quarterback. He ain't nothing special. When he ain't got 7 seconds back there to throw to the 2 first-round picks, bro, any quarterback is gonna do it. You know? Once he start getting hit, he rattle. He a midget. He like 5 feet tall, man. Listen, this OSU team, talented team from top to bottom. Generational defense. Defense never let any team score 20 points this year. And they still couldn't get done when it mattered most. When it mattered most. Miami game, here we go, Maize. When it was 14-7, what did Miami do in the ensuing possession? Took it right down the field, hit a field goal.
Yeah.
Right? Indiana came. OSU came, scored a touchdown. It was back and forth. Miami gets the ball with 6 minutes left, like 5:58. And they just took it to their defense. 4 first-round picks on that defense, by the way. 4. And they couldn't stop them. Miami ran basic zones, basic gap. They did nothing special. They didn't run no trick plays, nothing special, and moved the ball when they had to against this defense. And finally, with 55 seconds, they just put the shot to their heart. Get these bums out of here. Caden Curry. Oh, Caden Curry. He's the truth. Where was he on last year, guys? I don't know. Miami.
The APB out
Arvell Reese. Hold on. Arvell Reese. He's the linebacker. Wait till you meet Arvell Reese. Somebody, please tell me where Arvell Reese at so I could go visit him because I don't know where he been at.
He was
all
at
these
the
big names. All these big. The only dude that balled out was Jeremiah Smith. Shout to Smith. Caleb
He's
Down
a
made
dog. He's a dog.
some good hits, and Miami was hitting these dudes, bro. Hitting these dudes.
Oh
You
yeah.
saw Cornell Tate. Cornell Tate was hesitant to catch some of these balls. Yo, listen, they took it to them. OSU, it was proven once they played against a team they could punch back, they were caca doodle. And that's it. They lost 2 games. All that energy on Michigan. We beat ya. You ain't win the game 6. So get
Yeah.
up out of here. What a
Uh,
game by Miami. Ruben Bain, Messador, Kessador, Flessador, whatever. They son your old lineman. Tell your man Ryan Day stop calling plays. He's trash. He full. He just like those beach chairs. So it's good to see them go. They frauds anyway. Now it's on to them to the semifinals. Now y'all give y'all take.
real quick, AT is hilarious, bro. Julian saying is the Joe Burrow of Kate McNamara's is top notch trolling.
No, I'm a like that Miami defense and that pass rush by Miami, were basically roommates with Julian saying that entire game. They had free rent right behind that offensive line throughout that entire game. Like Sayin was getting sacked so often that I'm pretty sure he had the first names of every defensive pass rusher. He was probably on a first name basis with each and every one of them with how often they were back there. It seemed like Ryan Day was passing like he was playing a defense that didn't know how to pass rush. Like he like Sayin was back there thinking he had like 7 minutes back there, and he definitely did not because those pass rushers were coming through faster than Sayin could make a read. And I think that's and every time he got hit, you could see Sayin get more and more happy feet every single time, and that caused him to get sacked even more often because he'd get happy feet, start trying to move out away from the pocket a little bit because he's getting hit hard every single time, and it just wasn't a good time to be a Julian Sayin wearing Buckeye colors. That's for sure. In that Miami game. It didn't look good for Ohio at all. Like they definitely didn't look like they belonged there when it came to the playoffs. And like you said, like after they beat Michigan, they didn't win a game. And last season, maybe they should have lost to Michigan. They would have had a better chance because at least last year when they lost to Michigan, yeah,
that was they natty. Beating Michigan was they natty, and they try to clown us. They try to clown us, and that was their natty.
For sure it was. Like that, for sure. I mean, you look at last season, they lost to us and they won a natty. This season, they win to us, and then they lose out the second round. Their first game of the playoffs, they lose.
Yeah. Oh, we don't care about the rivalry. We care about natties. Oh, now
that they're out first round, they care.
Hold up. Let me get this super out the way. Shout out to my guy Dexter Green. Thanks for the $2. He said Yak was going ham on JOJ yesterday. I watched that this morning, and yes, he was going ham. Real quick though, this guy here, what Justice says. Michigan fans think we care when they say Sayin isn't good. We know this. We aren't in denial like y'all. Wait a minute.
Hold up.
The brakes.
Oh, now Sayin ain't good. Get out of here. Yeah,
y'all gotta stop it. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. All right, real quick. Let me go on. Let me say something real quick. Yeah. I gotta say this. The other state played however many teams, 9 teams, 8 teams that weren't named. I'm talking, let's take all of the ranked opponents off the board. That includes Michigan. And all of the teams they played, they averaged 41 points per game, ladies and gentlemen. 41 points. They out there throwing up, scoring left and right, doing trick plays left and right. They weren't doing trick plays left and right. I'm just saying, I'm trying to make the point that they were scoring a bunch of points against nobody. Scored 70 points against Grambling. Right, and so on and so forth. Right, you add Michigan to that, right? You add the ranked opponents, including Michigan. That 41 drops all the way down to 18. 18, and I think what they scored on us, 24, 27?
27.
27, and that drops all the way down to 18. Take Michigan out of it now. The other 3 ranked opponents you played, Texas, Miami, and Indiana, that drops all the way down to 16. 16 points per game against good competition. This is exactly what the Michigan fans on this channel and others were telling you guys, that you haven't played anybody. When y'all were sitting there trying to tell us that, oh no, we made them look like nobody. We made Washington look like nobody. No, Washington was just nobody.
Yeah.
We made whoever
were
else,
just having a
whoever
bad
else they
year.
played look like nobody. No, they were just nobody. You were never who you thought you were this season. I'm gonna give the defense credit, because I don't care who you play in college, in D1 football. Holding opponents under 8 points is impressive. I don't care who it is, right? But then when you play those teams, Indiana got over that 8 points. Michigan, we didn't get over 8 points. Did we? What was our final score? We had 6 points. Never mind.
Yeah.
Six whole damn points. Which is ridiculous, by the way. Miami got over that point threshold. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it was Ohio State a good football team this year? Absolutely. Could they were they worthy of the playoff? Absolutely. Were they who you guys said they were? Absolutely not. They were not the monster that that the Ohio State fan base would like us to believe. They never were.
We got 9 points.
Yeah. You said we got what?
We got 9 points.
We got 9 points. All right. So we scored more than the 8 points. How about that? Shout out to Michigan, beating the threshold. All right, look.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Look, the bottom line is you got exposed when it was time to get physical. So shout to Miami, and there was a foreshadow, because we saw the Texas A&M game. That was a foreshadow to what was possibly going to happen. Not possibly. What happened? 7 sacks against A&M, who only gave up 10 sacks all year.
Right.
Julian saying,
and what they told us, they weren't worried about that. That was an anomaly.
Yeah. They overrated Bain and other them. So look, it's good to see them lose. It's good to see them humble, because again, the arrogance of the OSU fan is like no other. And when they lose, they cry and there's an excuse. And then, oh, look at our record. It's funny that Justice, the bozo in this chat, since 2000. You tell him to go past 2000. It's like trying to give Superman a kryptonite sandwich.
Hey.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even.
They will not go past 2000.
Our history starts in 2020. That's the new. That's
it. 21. It is. It is a new era.
New history, bro. Get out of here.
After COVID, goes a new era, and we owned them. We got 3 Big Ten championships. We 4-1 against them, and we both got a natty each. Michigan owns y'all. Y'all will forever be our sons. And to the next game. Let's go to the next game.
And I want to be real quick. So throughout this entire season, every Ohio State fan has said, Julian Sayin is it. He's the best quarterback. He's the greatest thing that's ever come to Ohio. Y'all were all saying that all season, and now you can't switch up just because he got taken to Sac City by Miami. You can't switch up now.
No. Listen, I promise you, the 2000 fact has not got us upset. Bro. Listen, the 2000 fact is the only part of history that y'all can have, like, that you can like really lean on. Every other.
It's technically, this is how stupid they are. It's technically 2001. They lost that 2000 game. So, they lost that game in 2000. Drew Henson went into the shoe, shitted on them. But anyway, let's move on to the other.
Let's get to the next game. Before we do that, we got another super chat. This one from Ripstar. Thanks for the $4.99. He says, Ripstar, friend of the program, is the greatest. Woo! Remember, voice of college football. Yo.
Do you want me to hit it?
Win agency. We don't beg for super chats like John. You know what, man? I knew better than the trust that this wasn't going to be this.
Do we hit a flare for that one?
Go ahead, hit a flare.
Woo!
Maybe.
Yeah. 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 So because we could all play that. We could all pick a timeline. Only
Yep.
OSU fans are cherry pickers. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. Oregon, Texas Tech. That was the first game of New Year's Day. Go ahead, Maze. Get right to it.
Yeah. Oregon, Texas Tech was I picked Texas Tech to win this game. I was wrong about every game except for Miami, by the way, and I'm okay with that. Miami made
The
up.
best
Miami
one.
made up for.
I was
Absolutely,
wrong
I
about
picked
Miami
Texas
too.
Tech to win that game. Obviously, that was not the case. They didn't do it. I don't think it was as bad as the score says it was, though. Texas Tech had opportunities if they could have moved the ball. I thought their defense really came and played well. Oregon went for it on fourth a bunch. Dan Lanning is playing with
Dan
fire,
Campbell.
lady.
He's Dan
No,
Campbell
Dan.
now.
Right. He's playing with fire. Outside of Ryan Day, nobody benefits more from having an elite roster. In fact, I'm going to put him over Ryan Day and benefiting the most from having an elite roster because these guys aren't. Let me not say these guys. Dan Lanning isn't who everybody thinks he is. He has a great roster. He takes too many chances. He is aggressive. Aggression is good at points, but also you gotta know when to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Let me see. Bring up. Here we go. Put up Tim L's. His not his last one. The other
This
one.
one,
Here we go. Yeah. Read that one,
Sam,
mate.
Sam is a good to great quarterback. His offensive line and coach who thinks he's an OC is the whole problem. They can coach and be an OC. They can't coach and be an OC. It's been or he's saying he can. He can and be an OC. It's been proven. Okay.
Here we go. See, this is the bullshit that these OSU fans like spewing. But whatever makes them sleep. Like this is the only team that'll be like, we played Miami four more times and they didn't have Ruben Bain. I bet you we beat them. Like what? They will say some dumb shit. Like, bro, you're Ohio State. I don't see bad seasons, right? It's natty or bust. I don't want to hear about you losing X amount of players that you did. 14 players. Georgia did in 21. In fact, in 21, Georgia broke the record for most players drafted. Guess what Georgia did the following season, gentlemen? Won the national championship. So what's the excuse for Ohio State? But anyway,
It was
Lynch,
windy.
Texas Tech, Oregon. What was your thoughts on that game?
I didn't see much of it, but I did pick
Johnny, I
Oregon
missed
to win. I did pick Oregon to win that game when we were talking about the matchups because I felt like Dan Lanning had a better mentality when it came to coaching, and I think his team was better, and it showed on the field. Obviously, they came away with the win, but
Hold on,
um,
Lynch. I'm sorry. Real quick. Tim, my bad then. He misspelled. In fact, he was discrediting. All right.
Okay.
So
All right.
my back, Tim. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lynch. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I picked Oregon to win just because I think Oregon's a better team overall than Texas Tech. At the end of the day, Texas Tech, they have a good scheme about them, but I just felt like Oregon had the tools to be able to take advantage of the weak points of Texas Tech, and the fact that apparently Dan Lanning wanted to do his best Dan Campbell impression. Probably that definitely helped with their victory over Texas Tech.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, man, this game, it ain't much. I mean, Oregon dominated. Texas Tech defense is legit. Oregon couldn't really do much. But the offense couldn't help them, man. And that's credit to Oregon. I mean, they talented, they're very good. But I think that Big 12, um, playing in the Big 12 caught up to them in this game. And, it was beautiful weather. It was played in Miami. And Oregon didn't do nothing special. Dante Moore had moments. He didn't throw for no touchdowns. Everything was rushing, but it was just on a short field. And Texas Tech stuffed them many times on fourth and short. So
Mm-hmm.
if they could only had help by the offense, this, it could have been different, but you got to credit Oregon's defense, man. They came to play and they made a statement. Now I was on to the semifinals.
Yeah. Real quick, I missed this. Shout out to Captain Stabbin. Been a member for 3 months. You should become a member. He says they can blame their O-line all they want. Good or great quarterbacks deal with the pressure. He's talking about Ohio State.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
absolutely.
That's what we're talking about. And anybody that know football know that, bro. You don't. It's not about being a Michigan fan. Any fan, bro. You see that happen. Mendoza, he under pressure. Sometimes he gets it done, bro. It's about in that Penn State game. Did he not get it done?
Right.
He got it done. Bryce Underwood. That's what I'm talking about. Sticks.
Shout out to Sticks. Sticks, get back to work. Study. Or is he out now? Oh, it's 8:00. He out now. All right, go ahead. What's the next game?
Yeah. It was Indiana, Alabama, 4:00.
Listen,
the granddaddy of the night.
Listen,
Is that even
the
a
Rose
game?
Bowl is not a good place for Alabama. Clearly, they should just automatically forfeit any bowl game played there going forward. They got destroyed, bro. Listen, I thought this is another one I picked errantly. I thought that they would show up and just out talent Indiana, bro. I just thought that's what would happen. I'm sorry. And they got destroyed. Kurt Cignetti, I'm gonna say it again. Kurt Cignetti is everything that Kurt Cignetti thinks he is. All right. Forget what y'all think he is. He thinks he's better than that. And he is. He's everything he thinks he is. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. No, man. Listen, Cignetti right now, he's working on different timing right now, man. When you're looking at a football team this year, they epitomize what you want your team to look like: fast, physical, discipline. Fast, physical, discipline. Oh my goodness! And this team, they don't make mistakes. In fact, I'm gonna keep it real. This Alabama team this Indiana team remind me of some of those Saban's national championship teams. This is what they were doing to teams. You just couldn't. They were too physical on both sides of the field. Everywhere. They secondary gonna knock your head off. The safeties are gonna knock your head off. You can't really run the ball. They suffocating teams, man. So, and they just doing it with good players, not great, not elite, good players. So that's coaching, and that's also having these players bought in. They bought in. They understand we have a mission. We trust you, coach. You understand? And coaches trust them. So watching Indiana play, man, so far is great. Now, by it, no one is unbeatable. No one. So
right.
Yeah, they could lose to Oregon, win, or go to the Natty and lose. So, like Kobe said, the job is not done. But if you had to bet your money, bro, I don't think it's bad betting it on Indiana.
That's a fact. Real quick, shout out to Hilo Key. He gifted 10 Maize Out Sports memberships to 10 lucky people in the chat. So Michigander 1212. Tim L got one of those things. Maurice Graham got one. Frank 313. Daryl Young, Ty Black. You guys make sure you thank my guy Hilo Key for handing out those Maize Out Sports memberships. Shout out to Captain Stabbin again, $10. Thanks for the super chat. He says Bryce just posted. Let's effing go. Hey, give me something for that, Lich. Let's go.
Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
Bryce Underwood is a Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen. That's a Michigan man. Johnny said this before. It's something different about doing it in your hometown, doing it in your state where you from, Bryce Underwood just showed us he's dedicated to putting Michigan back at the top of the mountain where they belong, bringing a natty back to Ann Arbor. Let's go, Bryce. We got to get behind Bryce. And these coaches need to do right by Bryce. Get your asses in this portal. Get my guys some real talent. Bottom
And while
line.
we
Let's stay
just
away
spoke
from the
about,
staffers.
we just mentioned this about 20 minutes that Bryce needs to announce. So, if a receiver's considering Michigan, he knows he's playing with Bryce. So, yeah. So now bro, that's it. Now I'm assuming Marsh is going to stay, but who knows?
Right. So,
All right.
as for this Indiana Alabama game, one thing I can say is if you look up the dictionary definition of winning right now, you're going to see two names. You're going to see Charlie Sheen. You're going to see Kurt Signetti. That's what Kurt Signetti's been doing all season. He's been winning, and and he's going to continue to win, and he's going to continue to win all the way to the Natty. I mean, I predicted Indiana to win the Natty. And I think that from where I'm sitting, and the talent that I'm looking at, or not necessarily the talent, but the way that Indiana plays, the way that Oregon plays, I think it's a fair chance that it's a good idea to put your money on Indiana winning it all and coming through with another national championship for the Big Ten.
Yeah,
Now in this Indiana Alabama game, Alabama got embarrassed. Like they should just not. Like if they meet a Big Ten team in the playoffs, they might as well just wave the white flag and just have a marching band battle instead. That they'd have a better chance of winning that than being a Big Ten team in the playoffs. They've been having a bad time, especially at the Rose Bowls. Like just bowl games in general, they come up against a Big Ten team, they just falter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. They should just auto submit when they're at the Rose Bowl versus anyone from the Big Ten. 'Cause they don't have a good time there.
No doubt, bro.
Yeah. And then so which makes now Indiana versus Oregon the first
Yep.
semifinal. But before we get to that, let's
Ole Miss
recap
and Georgia played a classic.
Ole Miss, Georgia, the winner for the rights to play against Miami over in Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. Maize, go ahead, man. Put the apron back on. Ole Miss,
They played a
KKK,
classic.
KKK University versus Georgia.
KKK University versus Georgia. Listen, I picked Georgia in this one. So once again, I was wrong. But like I said, Miami beating that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus made up for all my misses because I got that one right. All right, Georgia, I thought would win this game, man. I thought no Lane Kiffin, all of the things working against Ole Miss. By the way, speaking of Lane Kiffin, he's a POS. I want this to be clear. He is forcing those assistant coaches that were on the Ole Miss staff to leave early to come back and recruit for LSU. On one hand, I understand it. You got to get in this portal. You got to get those guys right. But at the same time, dog, these guys earned this right. They were there. They helped these kids get there. And now you're taking them away from these kids in a time where they really need them, right? To get out there and help them get over this hump in the semifinals and potentially into the national championship. So that kind of sucks. Let me say that. That said, though, these dudes went out and balled. Chambliss, this is another kid that somehow got out of the state of Michigan with the University of Michigan not getting a whiff of the talent that he is. This dude is special, bro. He was out there wheeling and dealing. He made some spectacular throws on the run, getting out of trouble. Trinidad Chambliss is an absolute beast and somebody that the Ole Miss fan base might have missed on if Simmons never gets hurt. If Simmons never gets hurt, I don't know if Ole Miss is here. No disrespect to Simmons, but Chambliss is a difference maker, and he showed that in that game against Georgia. Now, when it came down to it, Georgia made a couple crucial mistakes on a third down when they had the ball inside their red zone. The Ole Miss red zone. They threw the ball on third down, which stopped the clock. with about a minute or so left in that game. You cannot do that. You got to run the ball. You got to keep that clock moving because this other guy is in fuego. At one point, he completed 13 straight passes in this game, which is a what they played in the Cotton Bowl. What bowl they played in?
They played in the Sugar Bowl.
The Sugar Bowl. It was a Sugar Bowl record. He broke a previous Sugar Bowl record shared by, of all people, Tim Tebow and Michael Penix Jr., who completed 12 straight. He completed 13 straight. So he's the record holder now for completions without an incompletion. And they gave that guy back the football with a minute left, where all he had to do was get his team in field goal range. And these days, that's just too easy. So that's mistake number one. And then mistake number two, on another third down, the down that killed them, they blitzed. They went zero almost, right? Six. They sent six people feet over the top by Chambliss. Of course, he was going to find the person, the open man, and that killed him. Otherwise, though, this was a classic game, man. I think Gunnar Stockton played his ass off, bro.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve to lose this game. That's for sure. He was out there taking hits and delivering the football just like you're supposed to do. Stand in that pocket, even when he got out of the pocket, getting smacked. Standing there, deliver the football. That's how it's supposed to be. This was a great football game. I cannot stress that enough. But go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Like you said, man, the best game of all the quarterfinals. This was a rematch of a regular season game back in October, won by Georgia, in which they had to come back from 9 points in the fourth quarter at home to win. Ole Miss's only loss all year. So they avenged that loss, and the game that mattered more. And these are the games that no team deserves to lose. They just playing football, man. And this guy makes a play. This guy, Trinidad Chambliss, if he could somehow beat Miami, bro, he might get a Netflix special, because this guy came from D2 Ferris State, like you said, from the state of Michigan, went to Ole Miss, wasn't the starter. Let's be clear. The starter went down with an injury. He came in and he never saw that bench again. So he's doing some Hollywood stuff right now. There's some Hollywood stuff going on with him. Phenomenal player. And, my man, Gunnar Stockton, like I said, early in the year, he's a football player. He epitomizes. He's a guy that wear Wrangler jeans, cowboy boots, those plaid. He tucks in his plaid shirt with a cowboy hat and drives a pickup truck. He doesn't care about his swag, doesn't care how he looked. But once he put the pads on, the dude could ball, man. Shout to both teams, gave us a classic. But Ole Miss moves on to play Miami, gentlemen. So we got the Final Four. Oregon, Indiana, in the Cotton Bowl. No, in the Peach Bowl. The Peach Bowl, which is going to be played in Atlanta. And then you got Miami, Ole Miss playing in Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. Yep. So let's get to Indiana, Oregon, man. No. For Lich. I forgot.
I don't have a whole lot to say about the game. I missed it, but I heard it. Looking at the score and the stats, it looked like it was a good game. Both teams balled out. It just looked like Ole Miss just kind of got the better of Georgia when it mattered the most and pulled away with a win. I mean, that's just kind of what it looked like on paper. I didn't see the game live, so I can really only talk about the stats. But yeah, definitely looked like. I predicted Georgia to win that game. I figured it was a shoo-in. That was a shoo-in for Georgia win. Because of everything that Ole Miss was going through at the time, I figured Georgia had this in the bag. No reason to even look at it. But no, apparently I was wrong. I got it wrong. My whole prediction for the rest of the for the SEC side of the playoffs is completely thrown off now because Georgia didn't beat Ole Miss. So luckily I got the Indiana side right, but we'll see after this next round of playoff games.
No doubt. Real quick, shout out to Dexter Green. Thanks for the $2. He said no whiff because the coach was whiffing something else. Talking about Chambliss getting out of there without a whiff from Michigan, and that's clearly talking about Sharon Moore whiffing something else, Sharon. But yeah. Also, Bryce is back with a vengeance. That's a fact. And Chase said, shout out to the panel. Thank you for the content. Thank you guys for tuning in to the content. Go ahead, Maniac. What you want to say about the next games?
Yeah, so let's get to another rematch. Oregon Ducks versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Look, Oregon's only loss this season has come to the hands of Indiana. A game that was played, I believe, in October as well. Indiana went into Utsen Stadium. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Otson.
Otsen, excuse me. And straight dominated them. Domination. But guys, it is tough to beat the same team twice. We got to call it. I know Indiana's on fire, but this is not going to be no gimme, man. Oregon can win this game. They got the dogs on both sides of the ball. I think the advantage Indiana is coaching. I think Signetti is the better coach than Lanning. I think Lanning, he's a Las Vegas gambler, bro. He likes to take risk. You know, it's like, yo, bro, you can't spend that last 5,000. How you getting home? I don't care. All right, go ahead, risk it. And Indiana's a team that if you do make mistakes, they will capitalize. He's just a good team like that. And that's what great teams are. I can't say great, excuse me. Good team. If they win it all, then they become great. But they just so disciplined all around. Dante Moore is going to have to do a lot. And meaning, when I mean a lot, is not just throw the ball. He's going to have to run the ball with his legs. He's going to have to make Indiana defend him every which way. And they got to take risks. They got to. Though they got receivers, Oregon. Don't fuck that short shit. Throw it deep. Take risks, bro. This is the semifinals. Don't go in there and game manage this game. Nah, I think they got to take risks because Indiana's going to be who they are. They're going to run the ball. They're going to take shots with their three receivers, Cooper, Surratt, and what's my man, the white boy, number 80. He a beast.
The white boy, number 80. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Nah, you know,
I know you're talking about, man.
But he's a beast, bro. So, and they tied it. They just good, man. Look, I love this game. I think we're going to see a very physical game. You're going to see a lot of players getting hit, hang. But when it's all said and done, yes, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. It don't matter what color the Kool-Aid is, but I'm drinking it. I'm going to go Indiana in a close game. I mean, this is 50-50. It will not surprise me if Oregon wins this game. But I'm going to go Indiana. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid in the close game. I'm going to go 23-20 Indiana.
Okay. Lich, what you got?
You know, I gotta say, I think Maniac's right. This is going to be a very physical game. I think it's going to be a very grounded game between the two teams. Like we're going to see the ball through the air, but I think a lot of it's really going to come down to who can run the ball better on the other's defense. So I think I had to look at the score. One thing comes to mind, and I've said it before. When you look up the definition of winning in the dictionary, you see Kurt Signetti and Charlie Sheen. So obviously, I got to pick Indiana. It's going to be I think it's going to be a close game. I'd even put it within a field goal of a victory. But I think Indiana's going to pull away with the victory. If I had to put a score to that, I'd probably have to say, gotta do math real quick.
Damn, Moose.
Damn.
Moose said it ain't gonna be a game. It ain't gonna be close. Signetti or bust.
I'd have to say I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game because I think these defenses are both extremely are very good. So I think it's going to be 17 to 24.
Okay.
Indiana.
All right.
Okay.
Shout out to Sticks. He said all four coaches left, coached under Saban. That's crazy. That is kind of crazy. I think Indiana wins this game. I think it's going to be something like 23-13. 23-13 Indiana. They've proven that they can hold some high-powered offenses to, not so high-powered scores. So give me Indiana 23-13. They're on fire right now. Here's the thing. As a Michigan fan, the best case scenario for me, for the way I fan, the best case scenario is for Miami to win the national championship.
Yes.
Because if Indiana does it, that's a 16-0 season, which then puts them over Michigan's 15-0 season, where Michigan's the only Big Ten team to go 15-0 so far, but Indiana has a chance to tie or break that record. And then if Oregon wins, that just means they finally won a natty. And I think it's funny being able to point and laugh at Oregon fans saying you've never won a national championship. I want to continue to be able to do that. And then I can't root for KKK University to win a national championship. I'm sorry, Chambliss or not, sue me. So Miami needs to win the natty.
So that's choosing Indiana. I got to change my answer so I can be right.
Yep. right. That's Maniac. Go ahead. What's the next one?
Yeah, and then of course, the second semifinal, we have the you already know the Triple K Rebels versus the Hurricanes of Miami. Look, man, shit. Miami has had to face Texas A&M. Say what you want on who they beat, how they beat. It's still a high power offense. Yep. They went in there, College Station, and held them to 3 points on their field and had 7 sacks. I don't care. That's not easy to do, right? Then, okay, they're going to get cooked by Ohio State. They don't have a chance. Went in there, held another high power offense to 14 points. And now they're going to face another high power offense, man. So I'll say that Trinidad Chambliss, and those receivers and that running back Lacey from Ole Miss, they give any defense nightmares. I think they will have success. I think they can score 20 on Miami. But I think the problem is that my Ole Miss defense is nothing like Ohio State's defense. So I think Miami will be able to score at least 27 on this defense. But I think it'll be a back and forth game. I think Miami's defense will make the stop when needed, and their offense will get the score when needed, just like they've been doing these last 2 games. I think it's a destiny game for Miami and Indiana to play. So I'm going to Hurricanes 27-20 over Ole Miss and the KKK. You know what?
Shout out to Aaron Taylor, who might have won Chatter of the Day today. I think we're going to start doing that. Chatter of the Day. The person with the best chats during the live, we're going to start doing that. Aaron won the first ever Chatter of the Day today. He said, my third great-grandfather didn't march with General Sherman for me to cheer for Ole Miss in the playoffs. That's a fact. Shout out to Aaron. Lynch, go ahead.
I gotta root for Miami too. I mean, I'm obviously of the persuasion that would be one to be seen around Ole Miss, but I'm not like shade wise. I'm the shade that would be seen around Ole Miss, but I can't root for that. That's not my ideology. I just can't do it.
Yeah,
Ole Miss got to go down. Ole Miss got to go down. They don't represent us. So I got to go with Miami for this one, obviously. I mean, they've been doing a good job dealing with these high-powered offense, like Maniac said. So even if there wasn't all that surrounding Ole Miss, I still go with Miami because they've been doing a really good job. Their defense makes the stops when they need them to, and they hold these teams that you think they wouldn't be able to. Like, they kind of come in as underdogs and leave as victors. So I got to go with Miami for this game, making their way to the Natty at 34-17.
No doubt, bro. They said, stay out of the Slitch Max. You know. Hey, yo, no doubt. Listen, Miami has been wrecking offensive backfields all season. I don't see a reason why that stops this upcoming in this game. I will say this, man. Ole Miss has proven that they can beat anybody. I think they can beat anybody. With that said, though, I think they lose this game. I think they lose this game. Another dogfight. I'm going 23-24. 23-24 Miami in this game. Miami versus Indiana in the national championship for me. I think for everybody here, right? Miami, Indiana. Yeah. Miami, Indiana in the natty for us.
I say Indiana wins natty.
Not yet, not yet. We'll have time.
Don't do that.
Yeah, the natty's on the 19th, but we got time.
Venice makes a good point. Bad matchup for Miami. Ole Miss up-tempo offense will neutralize Miami's defensive line. Listen, one way to do it.
It's true, and that's a good percentage. But I think again, on the flip side, can Ole Miss stop Miami's offense? And they got Fletcher is a dog, bro, and he's a bruiser. I think he could get, as long as Miami is just getting first downs and keeping that Ole Miss offense on the sideline, it's going to be tough sledding for Ole Miss. But, Miami's going to have their hands full with this Ole Miss offense. I agree, without a doubt.
No doubt. Moose says, I got Ole Miss 27-24. I'm not mad at that. I do think it's going to be a tough game no matter what. That's a fact. All right, look, gentlemen, I thought we were going to have some time to bring people up. Unfortunately, it looks like Jason left a long time ago. Maniac pissed Jason off earlier. He got up out of here. Shout out to Jason, man. But anyway, gentlemen, thanks to everybody in the chat who participated. Shout out to Aaron Taylor, the inaugural winner of Chatter of the Day. We're gonna do something. We gotta put something together for the Chatter of the Day. We're gonna do something. We'll let you know what it is. Maniac, tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
You can find me in your mother's basement. No, let me stop. No, you can find me right there. You see it on Instagram. GoBlue_Maniac_24. And that'll lead you to all my social media outlets. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Maize, if you could just throw that link in there, let them know.
Absolutely. Let me go grab it real quick.
That'll be a $10 fee.
Yes. And of course, every Monday here with my brothers on the Maize Madman Show.
Yes, sir. That link is also in the description of this video, but it's right there in the chat. Be sure to check that out. That's my guy's link to his YouTube. Really Flawed joined the chat late. She says, "Go Steelers, let's go." Flawed, we got beef. All right. Michigan is 0-3 against Texas. We got real beef. I'm upset about it. Lich, go ahead.
You can find me everywhere at LichMac626. You can't find me. I'm probably not there. But if you want me there, send me a message and I might go there. You can also find me on Fridays at The Gamers Sidelines, where we talk all things football around the NFL and the college football leagues. Also, Mondays, you can find me right here on the greatest, nay, the best ever Michigan podcasting show in the world, the Maize Out Sports channel, on Maize Out Mondays with these two guys, and normally Sticks, but Sticks decided to get extra education just for us.
Sticks hit the portal on us. We didn't give him the NIL he was asking for.
he entered the transfer portal. He might be back. We don't know yet. Yeah. But yeah, you can find me right here on Mondays. Normally I host Lich Picks, but we ain't got a game, so no Lich Picks. But if you want a Lich Pick, go ahead and look at Indiana to win it all. That's my Lich Pick for you. Indiana winning it all.
No doubt. Be sure to follow the Gamer Sideline. I tried to get the link. Something's going on with my computer. I'm sorry. I just barely got back over here, back to this tab in time. Shout out to Flawed, though. No, you can't. Hands off our offensive linemen. Thanks. That's it.
You can have Ohio's, though. They don't need them.
And be sure to check out my man, Old Man on the Sticks. Old Man on what's your new name, old man? He changed it.
Old
Oh,
Head
there it is.
Sports
It's up
Talk.
there. Old Head Sports Talk. That's it right there. Old Head Sports Talk. Be sure to follow my guy, subscribe to his channel, all of that. In the meantime, follow me, M_Thrizzleton on Twitter, at Maize Madman on Instagram until that changes. And follow us on Twitter, where Marmar, who was in here earlier, he is our Twitter guy. So all those messages you see come out of there, all the crazy stuff, that's Marmar. Blame Marmar. But we are Maize Out Sports on Twitter, or the Most Sports, one of those. Follow us there. Google it. We're Kirk Cinetti. Google us. Until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my friends.
I'm upset.
I'm upset.
I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that Maize and that lock. You know, that fun. I just don't get it. So. And how the
Oh my God, we're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody.